Hello, welcome back, everyone. Today we're gonna go discuss chapter six, cost and volume profit relationship, using the book called Introduction to Managerial Accounting, 9 editions owned by McGraw-Hill with the copyrights that have the copyright. It's the author will be Brewer, Garrison, and Norian. This is for the managerial accounting classes. It's a little bit long, about 98 slides. Okay, let's is the what is cost value and profit analysis. The assumption is to simplify the CVU calculation. Managers typically adopt following assumption with respect to these factors. Selling price is constant, costs are linear and can be clearly divided into variable and fixed component. And number three, it has a multi-product companies. The mix of products sold remains constant. So there's a three assumption of CVP. Okay, cost volume profit analysis. Okay, let's find the learning objective number one. Explain how changes in sales volume affect contribution margin and net operating income. Okay, look at the first one. Basic CPV part 1. Okay, contribution income statement is helpful to managers in judging the impact of profit changes in selling price, cost, or volume. The emphasis is on the cost behavior. What are those? Okay, for example, Racing Bicycle Company contribution income statement for the month of June. You got sales 100 bicycle, 250,000. Less variable expenses 150,000. You got a contribution margin is 100,000 here, and less fixed expense 80,000. Net operating income is 20,000. Contribution margin is the amount remaining from sales revenue after variable sales that have been deducted. This is the definition. Okay, remember this. CM is the amount remaining from sales revenue after variable expense has been deducted. CM used to first cover the fixed expense. Any remaining CM contribution is to net operating income. So this is the logic, 250, 20,000. So what are the logic? The next one, bicycle will be 500 for unit, variable expense will be 300. So 200 unit is your contribution. Sales variable expense and contribution can also be expressed as per unit basis. If Racing sell an additional bicycle, $200 additional contribution margin will be generated to cover fixed expenses and profit. Okay, so each month RBC must generate at least 80,000 in total contribution margin in order to break even. So which is the level sales, which is profit is 0. Okay, let's say if RBC sells 400 unit this month, it will be operating at the break even point. That's the logic coming from. Okay, 400 is here, break even point is 0, net income is 0, zip. Okay, but if you sell one more unit, 401, it goes by 200. That's the logic here. 401 goes by 200 contribution margin. We do not need to prepare income statement to estimate profit at a particular sales volume. Simply multiply the number of units sold before break-even point by the contribution margin per unit. So, if RB sells for 30, its net operating will be 6,000. Where you got it? 6,000 coming from 30 unit times 200. That's it's coming from 6,000 because your break-even point, BEP point, is 400 bikes. Okay, contribution margin here, 401 unit, profit equal to sales minus variable expenses, in bracket minus fixed expenses. Okay, that's the one. Then look at this logic. This equation can be used to show profit when RBC earns 401. Oh, let me just go back here at the beginning first, make sure it is there. Okay, that's the one. Sales 401, 500, variable expense 401, 300, okay, 6,000. Then you're gonna get the profit of equal to profit equal to sales minus variable expenses minus fixed expense. Quantity sold. This is where the logic is. P times quantity minus V times quantity equal minus fixed expense. Okay, that's the logic. I'm going to show it to you to make sure you understand the previous one here. Okay, if it is 241. Okay, there you go. There's the 13 one. Okay, go back. So it makes you understand at least how it goes about. Okay, that's the logic. If it is This equation can be used to show the 200 profit RBC earns if sell 401. That's how you got the buck. Okay, 200 extra 1 unit is $200. That's where you got this coming from. Excuse me. It is often useful to express the simple profit equation in terms of the unit contribution margin as follows. Unit CV, CM, equal to selling price per unit minus variable expense per unit, which is the formula with unit CM equal to P minus V. So the logic will be profit equal to unit CM times Q minus fixed expenses. Okay, these are the logic given to you. Okay, in terms of the equations formula. All right, let's look at this one. So you got plug in the numbers, 500 minus 300 times 41 minus 80,000. You got 80,200 minus 80, you got the 200. This equation can also compute to compute 200 RBC profit if it sells 100 bikes. Okay, this is the logic. You just plug in the formula. Objective number 2, prepare and interpret the CVP, cost volume profit graph and profit graph. The relationship among revenue, cost, and profit and volume can be expressed graphically by preparing a CVP graph. This in bicycle, develop a contribution margin, statement 0, 200, 400, and 600. Okay, 0, 200, 400, and 600. We will use this one as a graph. Okay, 0 is going to be losses, 200 will be losses here, 400 will be break even, 600 will be profit of 40,000. You can remember it's $200 is contribution margin. So when you use in the graph, you're going to use unit as per x-axis, y is as the dollar axis. You're going to plug in the number, draw a parallel line for the fixed expenses. Okay, and then you're going to draw for the 400 units all the way. Plug in the total expense. This is your fixed expense. This is your variable expense. Okay, and when you're going to look at this, sales is here 0, the green one. Total expense is the blue one. Fixed expense, the red one. So you lock in the break-even point 400 units, which is 200 here. Okay, we just discussed this before in the previous area. These are the profit area here. These are the loss area. This is the profit area here. This is the loss area. Because remember, 400 is anything below 400 loss, anything above 400 profit. And then profit per unit times CM times Q minus fixed cost is going to be like this. Break even point where profit is 0, 400 units sold is going to be like this. Okay. So use the contribution margin to compute changes in contribution margin, and then operating income is derived from changes in sales volume. CM ratio is contribution margin divided by sales. So the RBC contribution ratio will be 80,000 divided 200,000 will be 40%. That's what it is. Contribution as a percentage of sales is referred to as contribution margin ratio. The ratio is computed. CM ratio equal to contribution margin divided by sales. So plug in this number. Excuse me. Each $1 increase in sales result in a total contribution increase of 40 cents. That's how it's step 1. Step 2, contribution margin can also be calculated by dividing contribution margin per unit by selling the price per unit. So CM ratio, contribution per unit divided by selling per unit. CM ratio with 200 divided by 500 become 40%. Okay, and the variable expense as percentage of sales is referred to variable expense ratio. This ratio computed as follows. Variable expense ratio equal to variable expense divided sales. For RBC, variable expense ratio will be 120,000 divided by 200 will be 60%. Okay, and look at the next step. Having defined these two terms, it bears emphasizing the contribution margin ratio and the variable expense ratio can be mathematically related to one another. How are you going to look at this? Look at this contribution ratio, contribution margin equals divided sales. CM ratio equals sales minus variable expense divided by sales. CM ratio equals 1 minus expense ratio. CM ratio equals 1 minus expense ratio. 1 minus 60% 40%. This is where the mathematical logic is. Okay, look at this formula. All right, step by step. That's how it goes about to get your 40%. All right, look at the application of contribution ratio. RBC increase sales 400 to 500 or 50,000. Contribution will increase by 20,000, which is 50,000 times 40%. Okay, that's you got the 20,000. 400 unit, you got 200. 500 unit, you got 250 here. Less variable expense, you got break even. But here you're gonna get 20,000. 50,000 increase in sales revenue is that in 20,000 increase contribution margin, because 50 times 40, which is 20,000. That's where the logic coming from. All right, let's start this. Coffee. Concept check. Coffee clutch is expressed and in a downtown office building. The average selling price of a cup coffee is $1.49, and the average price expense, variable expense per cup is 36 cents. The average fixed expense per month is 1,300, and average 2,100 cups are sold each month. What is the CM ratio for coffee clutch? Either A, B, C, or D. Take a moment to analyze this slowly. So what you need to do, you need to find the CM ratio first. You need to find the unit contribution margin divided by unit selling price. Once you get that, you're going to plug in that number. Okay? Once you plug in that number, you're going to get your ratio. Okay, what's your answers? Okay, look at the answers. 1.46 minus 0.26 divided by 1.49. You get this. Answer is B. Okay. Relation between profit and CM ratio can be expressed using the following equation. PM equal to CM ratio times sales minus fixed expense. RBC increases sales volume to 500 bikes. What would management profit or expected net income to P? Profit equal to 40% times 250 minus 100,000. So you got profit of 20,000. Learning object number 4. Show the effect of operating income of changes in variable cost, fixed cost, and selling price and sales volume. What are they? Example 1. Change in fixed cost and sales volume. What is the pre-profit impact if RBC can increase unit sales from 500 to 540, increasing monthly advertising budget? Excuse me. So the change of fixed cost and sales volume will be 80 divided by plus 10,000 advertising will be 90,000 here. You got 500 units, you got 20,000 profit. 540 units, you got a 270,000 here extra, and then a fixed expense of 90,000 because you have additional 10,000 advertising. So sales increased 20,000, but operating income decreased by 2,000. Why? Because of the advertising expense. That's the reason why. Additional picture on CV concept, a shortcut. An example 1, change in fixed cost and sales volume. A shortcut using incremental analysis. Increase in CM, 40 units times 200, you got 8,000. Increase in advertising, 10,000. Decrease in net operating income will be 2,000. Previous explanation. This is an explanation to the previous slide, okay, because the advertising expense. But at the same time, you're going to increase your brand image. You have a short-term loss, but you have a long-term gain, okay? Example 2. Change in variable cost and sales volume. What is the profit impact RBC can use of higher raw materials, thus increasing variable cost per unit by $10 to generate an increase in unit from 500 to 580. So when you increase that, you're gonna get this number. Okay? You got increased 30,200. Sales increased by 40,000 and increased by 10,200. Okay? That is a change in variable cost per unit. Example number 2. Example number 3. Change in fixed cost, selling price, and sales volume. What is the profit impact in RBC? If RBC cuts the selling price by $20 per unit, increase the advertising budget by 15,000 per month, and increase sales from 500 to 650 per month. So if you do that, what's the logic going to be? So you will increase your sales by 62,000. Okay. 650 times 480 because you lower the price, selling price. And then sales increased by 62,000, fixed cost increased by 15,000. So from 80,000 to 95,000. Net operating income increased by 2,000 only. So the proportional of net income increase is much lower as compared to the sales increase. Okay, this is because of this. Okay, example number 3. Example number 4. if profit impact, if RBC pays 15 sales commissions for bikes sold instead of paying sales person flat salary, they could total 6,000 per month. So you change the percent of sales per payment and increase unit sales from 100 to 570 bikes. So how you gonna do that? So you're gonna do that. It's gonna be like this. The logic: 575 times 315, you're gonna 181, and then fixed expense is gonna lower down. Okay, so sales increased by 37,500. Okay, because 575 unit times 3115. Fixed expense decreased by 6,000 because you changed to a commission base instead of flat salary. And then income increased by 12,375. Example number 5, change in selling price to sell 100. If RBC has to opportunity to sell 150 bikes to wholesaler without disturbing sales to other customer or fixed expense, what price would it quote to the wholesaler if you want to increase monthly profit by 3 grand? So 3,000 divided by 150 bikes, which is $20 per bike. Variable cost per bike is 100. So selling price required 320. 150 bikes times 320 bikes, which is 48,000. Variable cost remain about 45,000 here. Increase in net operating tail will be 3,000. Okay, so that's the logic. 150 bikes times 120 bikes, you got 48,000. Variable cost 45,000. Increase in net operating income will be 1,000. Determine break-even point. Okay, when you do a break-even analysis, the formula to complete it is like this: sales 500 divided per unit ratio is 100%. That's variable 150, 300, 60%. Contribution margin 100,000 by 200. CM ratio 20%. So we're gonna follow here, okay, step by step. Okay, and this is the uh, scenario provided. Part 1, equation method relies on basic profit. So to solve this, we're going to use profit equal to unit CM times quantity minus fixed expense. Profit break even 0 times 100 times quantity minus fixed expense. This is the logic, okay? Equation method relies on the basic profit equation introduced earlier in the chapter, remember? Okay? So when you're going to plug in the number, 200 times Q minus fixed expense, okay? So 200 times Q equal to 0. You just use the algebraic calculation, solve it. It's 400 units. There you go. Okay. And then you need to source break even will be 80,000 divided 200 will be 400 units. The same thing. This formula is a shortcut version. The formula is a shortcut version of the equation method. It centers on the idea discussed earlier in the chapter that each unit cost sold produce certain amount of contribution margin that goes toward the covering fixed expense. Okay. So suppose RBC wants to compute the sales dollars required for break even and target profit that $0. Let's use the equation method and the formula method to solve this problem. Okay, we're gonna use that method. Equation method will be like this. Okay, there you go. This is just plug in the number. Okay, 40% times sales 80,000. 80,000 by 40% is 200,000 sales. Okay, now let's look at the formula method. Okay, fix 80 by 40. Then you got the 200. Whatever method you use, the answer will be the same. Okay, and then look at the example concept. Check here. Coffee Clutch is an espresso stand in downtown coffee building. Average selling price cup 149, expense 0.39, average frequency 1300, average cost 2100. As sold each month. What is the break-even dollar sales? Even sales per dollar? Either A 1300, B is 1715, C is 1788, D is 3129. Which one? Take a moment to drive. The BEP is going to be equal to fixed expense. Break-even sales equal to fixed expense minus contribution ratio. Okay, remember that. Remember you have the contribution ratio before. So your answers, give 1 or 2 minutes before your answers. A, B, C, or D is your answer. All right, let's get the answers. This is B. You got 1300 divided 0.78 ratio that from the previous slide. So you got 1715. Next one. Concept check number 3. You're going to find break-even sales unit. It's the same kind of issue, either A cup, B cup, C, or D. A is 172 cup. Okay, it's the same kind of here, but the average week expense per month is 1,300 and the average 2,100 cups sold each month. So how are you gonna do? Break the logic here is break even equal to fixed expense divided by CM per unit, contribution per unit. A, what is your answer? A, B, C, or D? Take a moment. All right, let's move on to the next answers. The answer will be D. Fixed expense divided by CM per unit, 1,300, which is 1.49 minus 0.36. You got 1,300 divided by 1.3, you got 1150 cups. That's the break-even points. Okay. All right. In terms of object number 6, determine the level of sales needed to achieve the desired target profit. Target profit analysis using an equation method or formula method. Okay. The same thing that we have discussed before. Profit equal to unit contribution times quantity minus fixed expense. Our goal is to solve the output key, which represents the quantity of unit that must be sold to 10 target units. So suppose RBC manager want to know how many bikes might be sold to earn target profit 100,000. So you got plug in the number, you're gonna get Q is 900 units. Okay, per 100,000, 200 times Q is minus 800. So you got multiply here using algebraic calculation, 800, 1,180 divided by 200, you got 900 there. Okay, this is your solutions. And then formula method, use this one. Total target profit plus basic expense divided by contribution margin, you get a unit sales. When you do that, you're gonna plug in the number for 100,000 profit plus 80,000 fixed expense, 200 you get 1,900 unit. Okay, and then we can also compute target profit in terms of sales dollars using either equation method or formula method. Okay, let's do that. Target profit 100,000. Okay, CM ratio 40% sales minus 80,000. Sales is the question mark. So the answer for this, you just plug in the number step by step. You're gonna get sales on 450,000. Okay, and then in terms of the dollars to 10 solutions, it's the same thing. Target profit times 80 divided by 40, you get 450,000. Okay, look at the concept check number 4. Coffee clutch. It's the same issue. Selling prices are 49, expense variables 49, fixed expense 1300. Using formula method, how many cups will the coffee be sold? That will have to be 10 target profit 2,500 per month. A, B, C, or D. What's your answers? A, 363 cups. B, 22 on 2 cups. C is 1150 cups. D is 4,200 cups. Take a moment, please. The logic will be for this one, unit sales to 10 target profit equal to target profit plus fixed expenses divided unit contribution margin. So the answer will be, there you go. Okay, 2,500 plus 1,300 divided by 0.26. You got the answer 3,363 cups. Okay, next logic is the same story. The profit using sales to 10 profit. So what will be the answer will be for target profits? Okay, A, B, or C, or D? What's your answers? The logic will be for the calculation of it, sales to 10 target profit equal to target profit plus expense divided by contribution margin. Excuse me. So 2,500 plus 1,300, plug in the number, you got 5,013, which is B. Objective number 7. Compute the margin sales, safety, and significance. Okay. Margin safety is the excess of budgeted actual sales dollars over the break-even volume sales dollars. Okay. The local logic margin of safety in total is equal to total sales minus break-even sales. Okay. We're going to look at the RBC again. 400 unit. Assume actual sales 250,000. I already to break even minus 200,000. The margin safety is 50,000 as shown. So you're going to calculate here. 150 as shown. Okay, 100,000. Okay, so what is that margin of safety? So we're gonna go look at this detail. 20% of sales, 50,000 divided 250, which is 20%. Okay. And we look at this detail. Margin of safety yield, 50,000 divided 500, which is 100 bikes. Okay. 100 bikes. And look at the concept check here. Same coffee cup, the average fixed expense 1300, average 2100 sold each month. What is the margin of safety? So you got 2100 cup, and before is how much? So the answer is either A, B, C, or D. What's your answers? Take a moment to answer this. The answer will be B, 950 cups with 2100 cups for sales and break even, which is 150 cups. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. Cost structure related to profit and fixed and variable costs. In organization, managers often have some latitude in determining their organization cost structures. So, what are the advantages here? Advantage of high fixed cost structure is that income will be higher in good years compared to companies with lower portion of fixed costs. The disadvantage of high cost structure is that income will be lower in bad years compared to companies with lower portion of fixed costs. Companies with low fixed cost structure enjoy greater stability in income across good years. So that's the key. You must import when you run a company. You must try to have a low fixed cost because you're gonna enjoy a lot of stability there. Okay, and then on objective number 8, compute the degree of operating leverage at particular level of sales and explain how it can be used to predict changes in net operating income. The operating leverage will be the degree of operating leverage is the measure of how sensitivity in net operating income is to percentage change in sales. It's also measure a given level of sales and how percentage change in volume will affect profit. The degree of operating leverage equal to contribution margin divided by net operating income. So you're going to look at this degree of operating leverage, which is 100,000, contribution margin divided by income is you're going to get 5. Okay. And with operating leverage of 5, RBC increased by sales 10%, so the increase will be 50% in terms of profit. Here's the verification. Okay. And then look at the next one. 10% increase in sales from 200 to 300, return result is 50% increase. Income from 20 to 30,000. So this is a verification. Okay. We can look at the concept check number 7. It's the same story. What is the operating leverage for this company? Either A, B, or C, or D. The answer will be here. 2.21. How do you get this number? 3125. Less variable expenses 756. Contribution 2373. Fixed expense 1300. And operating income is 1073. So 2.21 is the answers. Okay. For concept check number 8, is the same. Selling price is the same. And average price per month is 1300, average 2100, sales by 20%. How much would the net operating income increase? A, B, C, or D? What's the answers? Take a moment. All right, so this is the logic. It's going to be percent increase in sales 20%, some degree of leverage 2.21. You got 44.2%. Okay. And then here is verifications of the change in sales from here to here, change in operating here from here to 44.2. Okay. Stock sales commissions. Companies generally compensate salesperson by paying them entire commission based on sales and salary plus sales commissions. Commission based on sales dollar can lead to lower profit in a company. Let's look at an example here. Pipeline, two types of server, XR7 and Turbo. XR7 selling 100, CM is 25, Turbo 150, CM is 18. Sales force at Pipeline is compensated based on the sales commissions. So if you sales force Pipeline, you would push hard for sales Turbo, even though XR7 has productivity margin per unit. To eliminate this type of conflict, commission can be based on contribution margin rather than selling price. Okay, that's where the logic is going back here. XR7, CM 75, Turbo 150, CM is 18. Okay, so that is to reduce it's too hard to sell Turbo. That's the reason why. Concept number 9, compute break-even point for a multi-product company, and explain the effect of shift in sales mix, contribution margin, and break-even point. So, definition of sales mix. Sales mix is a relative proportion in which company product are sold. Different products are different in terms of selling price, cost structure, and contribution to margin. When a company sells more than one product, break-even can become more complex, as the following example illustrates. Okay, we're going to look at this product. Okay, let's compress 45%. Charge is 55%. There you go. In terms of the sales contribution margin wise, where you get this number? 250, 45%, 300, 55%, 550, 100. Okay, sales mix. 265 by 550, 48.2 rounded. Okay. Now to sales. Mix ratio, CM ratio, dollar sales to break even. 170, 48.2, you got 352 here. Rounding error here. Sales mix. Guys, it's quite a little bit complex. You're going to go back again to make sure you understand it. Okay. 48.2. Okay. Why do you get this 48.2? 265 divided by 550. Okay. This is where you get the ratio. That's event. Okay. Rounding error is 176 here. Okay. Alright, that basically concludes this chapter. This is quite a long chapter with 98 slides. This is, I think, one of the longest slides I've ever seen in a chapter so far. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.